Janice, time to talk about your money and your credit, because if you have ever applied for credit, used Equifax, there's a chance you might have had your information compromised. Stuart Welch joins us with some advice on now what to do if you think your identity's been stolen. Good to see you this morning. This thing affects over 140 million Americans.
It's everyone, I'm telling you, because the other half of the population are kids.
Right,
so I'm telling you,
so,
if you call and check, you're on the list.
I would imagine the CEO of Equifax is probably a little bit of trouble.
My first prediction is he's gone by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's
probably so. All right, so now if people have been affected, first of all, how do they find out if they even were impacted by it?
So, Mike, what they've got to do is they've got to go to Equifax Security 2017.com,
okay,
and you put in the last 6 digits of your Social Security, and they'll tell you if you're affected. But I'm telling you, you're affected.
Yeah.
If you're an adult and you've done anything, have bank accounts or anything, you're almost certain to be on this list.
All right, we might not have time to run through all these, but one of these, right there on Equifax's website, they offer you a chance to get free credit monitoring for 12 months. I've heard some other consumer advocates say don't do it. What do you say?
It's free. I would do it. Some
Okay.
people have said do something like a LifeLock. If you want to do that too. And these guys will be cross-referencing each other, but I would definitely pick up the free monitoring.
All right, and everybody knows you can order a free credit report to find out what's going on with your credit right now. But this is something I've done in the past. I either freeze my credit or issue a fraud alert. Talk about both of those, why you should do those, or if you get the credit monitoring, why do you need that?
So credit monitoring, if you do credit monitoring, it tells you after the fact, after something's happening. So if you freeze your credit, it means nobody can go in there and get credit on your account. So which is the downside is if you're trying to get new credit, you're going to have to take a minute and unfreeze it, allow that company to go in and get the report, and then you have to refreeze it. What is going to be different is if you do a
fraud alert is a little bit different.
A fraud alert alerts creditors that there may be fraud on your account, and they are supposed to authenticate that person before they issue credit. First time you do it, it's 90 days. You can do an extension, and then it's 7 years. If people are going to go that route instead of a credit freeze, I would go for the 7 years.
Yeah, you might as well freeze it at that point anyway, and you have to jump through some hoops to get, if you're trying to apply for credit to get that approved. You say contact your insurance agent. Why is that?
Well, a lot of times the property and casualty people will have, they'll have fraud protection. So contact your agent, see if you have it. Maybe they can add it. It's not real expensive. Okay. Maybe they can add it and they'll help you through that. And
you do want to closely monitor your credit, again, just to make sure there's not trying to open up some free credit.
You want to monitor everything, particularly your credit cards and your bank accounts. So credit cards, put an alert on there. Every time somebody spends $20, it'll give you a text. On your bank account, you need to look at your checking account 2 or 3 times a week and just make sure it's your charges.
Because Equifax has all that information. So if they breached Equifax, they have all that information.
This is huge. This isn't a problem now. This is a problem forever. And the reason is they've got the critical data of Social Security, your name, your address, your date of birth. They can, 10 years from now, that information never changes. 10 years from now, they can do it. You're going to have to monitor this going forward.
All right, because you're going. Because you mentioned. They're going to have this information. It may not show up for several years.
They'll be selling this over the internet for decades.
Yeah. All right, Stuart. Thank you so much. Also, of course, watch out for your tax returns. They could have done something with that as well.
That's right.